Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I look a little different today, I get it, but you know what? Every once in a while I think it's good for us influencers to come on fresh-faced, let you guys see what a normal human being looks like, and talk about a little bit of skincare. Actually, we're gonna talk about skincare tools. So if that's something you're interested in watching, then you're in the right place. We're about to get into it.
I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf.
Alright guys, so Sigma Brushes recently came out with a skincare brush set. And I thought to myself, how many brushes could you possibly need in order to do skincare? A. B, is it actually going to be worth it? Because I'll tell you what, the set itself is not cheap. It's actually $55 retail. So is it going to be worth it? Is it not going to be worth it? I was interested in it because of these things. So nails. If you have nails, or your nails are long, or if you wear gel nails or acrylic nails, then you know what a struggle it is when it comes to skincare, when it comes to masks, when it comes to moisturizer, eye creams, anything that requires a finger to go anywhere in a jar or in a contour around your face. It can be a little bit of a struggle sometimes, and we can get pretty inventive with our knuckles and trying to get cream out with our knuckles, or I in the past have typically just relied on a good old makeup spatula to get down into makeup that I want to get out or stir up something on my palette, you know, those types of things. But in order to have something a little bit better, Sigma decided maybe we should make some brushes to kind of solve a lot of these issues, which I would prefer. I would prefer to not have to walk around with a weapon looking thing to mix my makeup up, put a mask on my face. It would be nice. So the idea of a skincare brush set sounded good to me, but you know, it's one of those things where the idea sounds really good, but is the execution good? And is it worth $55? Well, if you consider the fact that the brush set actually comes with 6 in particular brushes, and that will value each one of the brushes at just a little under $10 a piece, maybe it sounds a little bit more reasonable, but to me, it's only going to be reasonable if it's something that I feel like I'm going to utilize on a daily basis. So I figured I would take the plunge for you guys and see if this is a brush set that's going to be worth it. So this is what it looks like. It's this beautiful packaging. It's got all this holographic stuff going on back here, and then you have the 6 brushes lined up inside of the box itself. Now on the back, you have all the directions on what each particular one is supposed to be used for. I'll give you guys a closer look of the packaging here. Again, it's beautiful packaging, and again on the back, you know, it has what everything is supposed to be used for. So these are not normal looking brushes, so you need somewhat of a guide when it comes to these particular brushes. Now I will say that when it comes to the actual brushes themselves, Sigma made some things a little different about these individual brushes. The first thing is that all of the brushes in here that have hair on the tip of them, it's all synthetic antimicrobial hair, which is fantastic when you're talking about putting it on your face. And for the brushes that have like this silicone type head, they've made it a very flexible, high grade silicone that's going to be very smooth and very comfortable on the skin. So they did invest a significant amount of material into the tips of these brushes to make sure that your experience was going to be good. Another difference is that they have these polymer based handles, which is not like a typical handle that would be like plastic or that would be wooden. So this is going to be able to be wet and be in a state of wetness without really being corrosive or corroding down at all, or having the plastic or the wood get fatigued because it's wet. So you have these kind of polymer-based plastic, really thick, heavy handles, and I really actually like that feature. And then also, surprisingly enough, the ferrules on this are a specific Sigma alloy that is corrosive resistant, and they actually have this patented and trademarked. So these alloys are anti-corrosive, they're durable, and they're not going to rust when they get wet, which is absolutely fantastic. So in the composition of the brushes themselves, this is not like a plastic set that Sigma just slopped together and threw out there. They really took some time with this particular set, and I appreciated that immediately right off the bat. That made me feel a lot more comfortable about the price point and about using these with skincare. So I'm actually going to do my skincare while we walk through the review of these particular brushes. So I'm not going to go in order that they're packaged. I'm going to go in order that I would typically do my skincare, just for you guys so that we can see how these actually work. So the first brush that we're going to look at is the S01, and this is the clay mud mask brush, and I'll give you guys a closer look here. Now this particular brush claims that it's going to scoop and evenly spread thick masks onto the skin. Now this again has that flexible and smooth high grade silicone, again with that beautiful trademarked ferrule and the polymer based handle. So it is a beautiful brush, and again this is the clay mud mask brush. It is the S01. So the clay mud mask we're going to use today is the pure clay mask from L'Oreal Paris. Now I find that these particular mud masks are really difficult to work with. It's a very thick mud mask, and I am down to really having to get onto the inside here in order to get it out. As you can see, I've used a lot of this, so with my fingernail scraping in here to get this mud mask out would be a nightmare. So this tool is gonna actually, wow, you guys, this makes it very easy. So I can easily just get in here and scoop around the outside, which is very nice. And it scoops out. It's not so flexible that you can't scoop things out. It's firm enough that you can scoop out and get a good amount there on the brush, which I actually really like. And then let's see what the application is gonna look like. Oh wow, you guys. It does. It's a nice even layer. This is fantastic. So I was really worried about the ability to evenly spread this on my skin. I thought I was gonna have to go in anyways with my finger and evenly spread this out, and you really don't. This spreads out very evenly on the skin. Now here's the test, right? It's going to be the nose area and the ability to get into the contours of the nose area and really get in there. Oh my God, it does it, you guys. So it really does allow you to get into these corners here and apply the mask, which is fantastic because I didn't think that this would be flexible enough to really get into the contours of the nose. You guys, I think this is the first time I've put a mud mask on, and I'm not gonna spend the next 10 minutes digging it out from underneath my fingernails. So this is a score. I was very surprised at how easily it got into these corners here. It's flexible enough that it really can deposit the product in here, but it's stiff enough that you can actually scoop product out and smear it on the face in a very even application. That was fantastic. The S01 is Erika approved. Okay, so that mask is all off, and honestly guys, the brush itself cleaned up very well. It was really super easy just to rinse it off, and yeah, I really am a fan of this. Again, this is the S01. This is absolutely Erica approved. All right, so the next one is the S15. Now this one is particularly for gel masks, and I'll give you guys a close-up of it here. This is one that has those exclusive synthetic antimicrobial fibers. Again, it has the polymer-based handle with the corrosion-resistant ferrule. Now, again, this is the S15, and this is going to be for gel masks. So this is for any mask that is of a lighter consistency, and typically, especially with a gel mask, you kind of want to really get it into the skin. So you want to do like with your finger when you put a gel mask on, you really kind of want to work it into the skin like that. So with this particular brush, I would assume that you go ahead and just get it in like this in circular motions. I see that the tip of this, it kind of mimics a finger, so this would be the motion that I would use in order to get the product in. And I'm actually going to be using a Peter Thomas Roth, his cucumber gel mask. It's one of my favorite gel masks to put on, especially after I've put on something abrasive like a clay mask. This will help kind of soothe and calm and hydrate and get everything kind of calmed down a little bit. So I did just read what it had to say about this particular brush, and it did exactly say that. It says to whip gel masks onto the skin using a circular motion. So that is what I'm going to be doing, and my fear with this is that it's going to take too long, that it won't cover enough surface area as fast as like my finger would. And actually it's not that bad. Yeah, it's actually going pretty quickly. So initially I thought that I would do a faster job with just my finger, and that this brush wasn't going to be big enough to actually, you know, I was going to be doing all these little circles on my face forever to get my entire face covered. But that's really not the case at all. It's actually doing a really good job, and it's also doing a really good job of working the product into my skin. So the synthetic fibers on the end of this brush have, again, that kind of perfect consistency where, number one, they're incredibly soft. So it feels very soft on my skin. It doesn't feel harsh. It doesn't feel abrasive at all. It feels really, really soft, as a matter of fact. And I'm done. Wow. Okay, so that's fantastic. But it is very soft on the skin, and it's firm enough that it's picking up product, and it's soft enough that it's laying it down. And again, we're able to get into all of these kind of contours of the skin here. So that did an amazing job when it comes to application. So I think the S15, which is the gel mask brush, this is definitely going to be Erica approved. I really enjoyed using this one. And again, guys, the S15 washed really, really well, and it has retained its shape, so I can lay it to dry and not have to worry about whether or not it's going to lose its shape. It rinsed out very well. There was no shedding, and yeah, great, great brush. The S15 gel mask brush is absolutely approved. Okay, so next is going to be a very interesting one. This is the S10, and this is a serum brush, and I'll give you guys a closer look of this one here. Now, this one is to apply liquid and gel serums evenly and gently, and it's specifically designed with a duo fiber synthetic antimicrobial bristles. So the less dense tip and the more dense inside is really going to help when it comes to the spreading of a serum and getting really an even application. This duo fiber, where it's very, very lightly packed at the top and then it's very densely packed towards the bottom, what that's going to do is it's going to keep the serum, number one, it's going to force most of the serum to stay on the tip of the brush, and it's going to allow for a very even application, just like a duo fiber will allow for a very light, even application of product onto the skin from a makeup perspective. In theory, it should do the same thing when it comes to a serum. So we'll see how this works. I don't know, guys. I'm a little worried that this is going to be a little scratchy, and I don't know about disbursement of product. So I'm going to be using the CEO Rapid Flash Brightening Serum by Sunday Riley. So let's see how this works. And I'm guessing we just dip it in here and away we go. Okay. All right, so right off the bat, this is, wow. All right, so one thing that I'm noticing right off the bat is that I'm using less product, but I'm getting a very even application, and it is going a little bit farther, I think. I think it's because I'm just able to really spread it around very well. That's the only reason I could really think of that I'm actually saving product by using this. Because maybe I use too much product when I just squirt it out and put it on the back of my hand, and then I rub my hands together, and then you just smear it all over your face, when I could probably just get a very nice, thin, effective layer just by doing this. And it's spreading it very evenly. I'm getting a nice even layer, but I am noticing that I am using not as much product as I normally would slap on my face. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It probably is a good thing, because honestly, especially when it comes to serum formulas, a nice thin layer of product on your face is going to be just as effective as taking a big glump of it and slathering it all over your face. As a matter of fact, your skin can only absorb so much product, and if you're going to put more than 2 or 3 products on your skin, then the absolute best thing to do is to work in very thin layers, so that your skin actually absorbs everything, because at a certain point your skin will get full, and then you just have a bunch of products sitting on the surface of your skin, and at that point nothing's effective. So wow. All right, guys, so I put my normal amount on the back of my hand, and I still have a ton of product on the back of my hand. And typically I would just take this and do this, you know, on my hands and just rub it into my face. But I feel like I actually went over my face twice trying to use up all of this product, and I still have all of this product on the back of my hands, but I am not wasting it. I am putting it into the bottle, because this is Sunday Riley and it's not cheap. Alright guys, so the S10 Serum Brush also rinsed out and washed out very well, and has also retained its shape quite well. One thing I will say about the Serum Brush is that it is a little more scratchier on the face. It's not, actually that's the wrong word for it, it's not scratchy, but because it's a duo fiber, you can feel these little thin fibers kind of, I don't know, it just gives you like this little scratchy feeling. It's not uncomfortable by any means, but it's not as soft as the gel mask brush was, and I think that is because of the duo fiberness of the brush. However, a lot of our serums are very expensive, so I appreciate the duo fiberness of this brush, because I don't want a lot of my serum to end up in the brush and not on my face, and the duo fiber design prevents that from happening. So I do appreciate the duo fiber design on this specifically for serums, and I think it did a great job as far as application. All right, next is the S05, and this is the moisturizer application brush. So I'll give you a close-up of it here. Now, this is just an angled moisturizer brush that you're supposed to use to gently apply moisturizer. Again, it has the antimicrobial fibers and the corrosion resistant Sigma alloy ferrule and the polymer based handle. It's a beautiful design. It is a really nice consistency. I think this one is a little more firmer than the other ones, probably for good reason, and that would be for an even application of moisturizer. So we are actually using one of my favorite moisturizers to use during the summer, and that is the Tidal Brightening Enzyme Water Cream Moisturizer by Sunday Riley. One of the best reasons why I love this particular moisturizer is that because a very little bit, and it's a very light moisturizer, but it really packs a huge punch. It has all like 9 different kinds of hyaluronic acid in it for moisture. It also has niacinamide in it, so it has all of those fantastic brightening treatments in here to help with discoloration and evening out your skin tone. And as far as hydration is concerned, this one will keep you all day long, all night long hydrated. This is a very light water cream moisturizer that packs a punch. It's just as good as a thicker, heavier moisturizer. And during the summer, you know, it's hot. None of us want that thick, heavy moisturizer on our skin before we go to bed, or even in the morning before we go out. We're all reaching for water creams and lighter moisturizers during the summertime. But during the summertime, our skin is so dry and parched. We really need all that moisturizer during the summertime. And this is that happy medium. It's a very light moisturizer, but it packs a punch of hydration with some brightening effects, which those of us with discoloration really appreciate. All right. Yeah, so this works. I've actually used a makeup brush before to apply moisturizer, especially if you're working on clients and you're just moisturizing their face really quickly before you go in with product. So this is not as uncommon as I think the rest of the items are in this kit. I think this is the one that I most am used to, is moisturizing with a makeup brush. However, it is nice to actually moisturize with a makeup brush that is designed for use with skincare. I love the synthetic fibers and the fact that they're antimicrobial. I love the fact that the ferrules are anti-corrosive. I love the fact that the handles are made out of a polymer that is not going to, when it gets wet, change consistency and wear. So I love the design of this. I love the idea of this, and I think that Sigma really took their time on each one of these individual brushes in order to get them done well, and I think it shows. I love the shape of this brush too, because again, it's allowing you to get into these contours here that are not always easy to get into when it comes to moisturizing. So I love that. Even with nails, and you're trying to, you know, get in to certain places, and sometimes it's just not easy to do that with the contours on your face when you have nails. So yeah, I love this. This is great. This is great. I'm really liking this a lot more than I thought I was going to, you guys. All right, guys. So next is the S20, and this is the eye cream brush. And boy, do I need this sucker, because again, these nails, you know, getting into like these corners and underneath here can sometimes really be a hassle. So yeah, this one is definitely one I will get some use out of. But let me give you a close-up look of it here. Now, this is supposed to be able to apply eye cream into skin without any tugging, which is nice because we all know that our fingers do their fair share of tugging when we're applying eye cream. So again, this has the synthetic antimicrobial fibers. They do look like they've been cut in a very specific shape. Of course, it has the anti-corrosive ferrule and the polymer handle, just the same as the other brushes, except it has this very kind of oval, weird, unique kind of tip to it. So let's see how this applies. Now, I actually use an eye serum first, and then I go in with an eye cream. So first, the eye serum that I use is the eye serum by Drunk Elephant, the Shaba complex. It's one of my favorite eye serums. I feel like it's very effective. Typically, I will use 2 squirts of this. I have a feeling this 1 pump is going to be enough. Oh, see, I love this already. Already, I feel like I can get into areas that are just, I feel very clumsy with when it comes to my nails. It's very soft. As you can see, my skin is not moving or tugging whatsoever. And it is really allowing me to get into all the contours of my eye, which is really, really nice, because these are all areas that I really just don't bother to reach into, because, you know, that nail just really prevents you from getting in there. And I was correct. This 1 pump is going to do both of my eyes. So that's another thing, guys, is I think that we use more product than we probably should when we are applying skincare without tools. If anything, I think that's going to be my lesson from all of this, was that I personally was using too much product when I literally used half the amount that I normally would, and applying it with this thin little brush has really allowed me to do nice thin layers, layer my product, and get just an effective amount on the eye in application as I would normally, and not oversaturate my skin with product. And it's probably all going to be more effective because of that. So now I'm going to go in with my actual eye cream, which is by Biossance. This is their Squalene and Peptide eye cream, which is one of my favorites. You guys know Squalene is my favorite ingredient. So I just go in right on top of everything we just applied. And yeah, again, this is 1 pump, where I would normally do like 1 pump for my left eye, 1 pump for my right eye. Yeah, this 1 pump is going to clearly do both eyes. I also like the fact that my skin is not being tugged around by my finger at all. Yeah. And again, that I'm able to really get in here to these little nooks and crannies and just make sure I have a nice even layer all over the contour of my eye socket. And it's very soft. This brush reminds me of the gel mask brush. It's incredibly soft. Wow. I'm impressed. I really like this one too. And again, this is the S20 eye cream brush. The next product, guys, is just the S02, and this honestly is just a spatula. So this is just got that silicone head on it, and this is going to be kind of an all-purpose spatula if you want to mix skincare together. I know a lot of people that mix moisturizers. I know a lot of people that mix foundations with their moisturizers. This would be a tool that you would want to use to mix cosmetics and or skincare. It's going to be kind of an all-purpose spatula. I'll give you a close-up look of it here. Again, this has got that flexible, smooth, high-grade silicone on the tip. I think it's, again, that perfect amount of flexibility versus firmness. I love that the ferrule, again, on this one is that corrosion-resistant Sigma alloy. And, of course, it's got the polymer-based handle as well. One thing I did notice about this particular spatula is that I tried with a couple of things, because initially it looked big. So the top of it looked very big to me. And I'm used to using a tool like this for a spatula. It's actually a lot thinner, and I didn't think that this would get down into like foundation bottles, and you know, when you run out of foundation and you really want to get down in there and get like the last little bit out. And I started popping this down into the tops of my foundation bottles, a couple of my skincare bottles, and they sized the tip of this perfectly. It fits down inside of those bottles. Most industry standard bottles. It slides right down in there perfectly and allows you to kind of scrape out the inside. This tip is very flexible, so even when it comes to mixing individual things on a palette, it gives you enough bend and enough flex that you can actually use it to mix and stir things up so it's not just really hard. I love that give and flex because it allows you to kind of paint like a paintbrush and really mix products in together, and even after you mix, be able to use it to just pop it on before you go in with a beauty blender or a brush or your fingers if it's skincare. So this is a very thoughtful, well-designed spatula. This is the S02, and I really like it. It's a very high quality utensil, and I appreciate that. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When I first got this kit, I really thought this was going to be more gimmick and less practical application. I did not expect this to be something that was so well researched and so well thought out. The products that were used and the technology that was used in these brushes is that it's so amazing that Sigma even offers you a free 2-year warranty on any brush in this set that comes with this skincare set. That's how much they stand behind the technology and the innovative designs out of these particular brushes. And you guys, I did not expect to be sitting here at the end of this video saying that a $55 skincare brush set would be Erika approved or worth the expense, but I think it absolutely is. Number one, I think it's going to save you a ton of money when it comes to your skincare products. I think you're going to use less and get a more effective amount of product applied to the skin. I think you're gonna have less aggravation when it comes to getting stuff out from underneath your nails. I think you will really enjoy using brushes as part of your skincare routine. I am very curious to know if any of you guys have tried this or if any of you guys plan to pick this up. This was a shocker for me. I didn't expect for this one to be Erika approved, but it absolutely is. Alright guys, thank you so much for coming by. I really appreciate you spending time with me and dealing with my face not all made up like this and looking a little natural today. If you're new here, welcome. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell and watch other videos so that you know that I actually wear makeup occasionally. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me today. I really appreciate it. I hope everybody is happy and healthy, and I will see you guys in the next video.